Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to be going over what's new with update 1.11, the latest update for the Twilight Wars browser apps. In this update there is a couple of major implementations, one directly related to gameplay and the other relating to aesthetics. The main gameplay implementation is now that the app has included in certain areas the ability to scuttle units for production. If you don't know what scuttling is, I'll get more into that once we hit up the demo. But previously, scuttling was implemented nowhere in the app. Now it's been implemented not in every place you can use production, but in the two probably biggest and most frequently occurring places, and that is during the warfare secondary as well as during the tactical action. The other big feature update aesthetic wise is once we jump into the demo, you're going to see the quality of a lot of the images is drastically improved. And then there's also been a slight change to just displaying active systems in the game. So let's go ahead and hop over here to a demo and we will jump into it. So the first thing I'll just show you, because it's pretty much staring you right in the face, is the new quality images I was referencing. So you can see that the system tiles have drastically improved in their quality, both on the board itself as well as in the enlarged view here. The quality and the structure of the shapes provides for a much more pleasant view. As well, the strategy cards quality has drastically improved, and these trade good icons. You can even see that in your own strategy cards as well. So those have improved. Yeah, those are the big graphic improvements there. Technology cards remain the same for now, as well as planet cards. But yeah, those are some updates. The other image updates are the tokens. I don't know if we'll be able to see them here, but these tokens, when they show up in the board, or rather in the game screen, you're going to see that they look a lot better now. And the images won't be cut off as much as they were. They'll be centered properly. Yeah. So image quality, that's one of the big features here. Now, as for game mechanics, you might have noticed while I was showing you the new graphics, this button here, this reset scuttle button. So, for those who don't know, in Twilight Imperium, there's a rule that says that when you're producing units, they have to come from your reinforcements. However, if you don't have units left in your reinforcements, what you can actually do during a production step is take the unit off the board, and what happens is it technically goes back into your reinforcements, and then immediately you can use that unit for production purposes. So effectively, what you're doing is you're relocating that unit. There's a couple of rules. First of all, if you do have units in reinforcements, you have to build those first before you remove units from the board. Second, you can't remove a unit from the board if it's in a system that has one of your command tokens, so the app won't let you do that. And yeah, those are the two main rules. And we'll demo that here because we're in the tactical phase where we've activated a system. So we're playing as the Embers of Muat. And what we've done is we've activated our home system here. And we have a space dock in there. And so what I want to do is I want to build one of my prototype War Suns. But if you know your reinforcement count, you'll know that war suns only there's only 2 war suns for each player, right? And you can even see this by just going into the player info tab and clicking on units. So you can see it, that we currently have no prototype war suns in our reinforcements. Now previously, if you tried to produce a war sun in this situation, the app simply would not allow you to do so. It would just tell you you can't do it because the units are not available from your reinforcements. So we're going to go and see how this works. Now, you can click the help button and you'll see here that there's a lot of information here telling you how to select units for scuttling and reset. I'll just go over it here. So what you want to do is you want to, like as if you were moving ships, you want to select the units to scuttle. So let's say I wanted to scuttle this war sun out here in this alpha wormhole system because I want to produce it in the Muat system. So I click it like I would if I was moving, and then you'll get this pop-up that says war sun in the alpha wormhole system selected for scuttle. Select more units for scuttle or proceed to produce units. Now because there's only one war sun in the alpha wormhole system, if I try to click it again, I cannot scuttle it because I've already scuttled all the war suns, or rather queued up the scuttle of all the war suns in the alpha wormhole system. If I don't want to scuttle that unit and I change my mind, that's what the reset scuttle button is for. So then it'll tell you that you've reset your units selected for scuttling, and then yeah, you're currently selecting no units, right? So you can only scuttle ships that are available in reinforcements, like you cannot scuttle fighters or infantry. So for example, in the Berg Lyrda 4 system, I can see I have 2 fighters here, so if I try to click it to scuttle, I'll be told I cannot scuttle a unit with the name fighter, right? Because it's not, you can never run out of those in your reinforcements. Obviously you can't scuttle other people's ships, so you click those, nothing happens. You can't scuttle units on planets because they're not ships. If I had infantry in space, you get the same error message as the fighter, right? Because there's no reinforcements for infantry. For the app's point of view, they're just infinite to produce. Another thing worthy of note here that I've set up specifically for this demonstration video is if you look at the war sun in the Berg system, you'll notice it has the tilt feature, which means it has sustained damage. So because scuttling specifically, if you looked it up in the living rules reference, because scuttling says you take the unit off the board, place it over in your reinforcements, and then you actually produce it, right? So what's going to happen if you choose to scuttle this unit will actually get repaired because you are destroying it in a sense, and you're producing it. So when you destroy a unit, if it sustained damage, it doesn't come back having sustained damage. It's fully repaired and ready to go. So I'll show that as well in the demonstration here. But let's go ahead and actually do this now. So what I'll do is I'll actually select both war suns to scuttle, and then we'll do what we normally do, just click on our home, click on the system that we're producing from, click build units, right? So 2 prototype war suns cost 24 resources. So we'll do 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? And so once we commit these resources, let's say we only select 1 prototype war sun. If we go to confirm this, first of all, yeah, we'll get that we're overspending by 12 resources. And we'll be told that we're scuttling units, these 2 war suns. So if we try to confirm, we're going to get an error here because we have to produce all the units we're attempting to scuttle, right? So if I confirm, it'll tell me I cannot scuttle units. I have to use all ships in reinforcements before scuttling. But in this case, actually, it's just because we haven't used all of our, we haven't produced all of our units for scuttling, right? So what's happening is the app is seeing that we're trying to scuttle 2 units, but we're only producing 1 there. right? The same thing will happen if I go reset scuttle and I try to, if I had a carrier or something and I tried to scuttle that, you get the same error message, right? Because I would have carriers in my reinforcements. So if I select both of these now, and I go, so I'm scuttling both of the war sons, and now I go up to produce 2 of them. If I try to go 3, I have a maximum of 2 war sons. That's another thing that's changed. So previously this would limit you to the amount of units in your reinforcements. Like if I just try, like if I click this down to 0, previously in the app, if I tried to click war son right now, it would just, I wouldn't even be able to try to confirm. It would just say that you have 0 war sons in your reinforcements. So now I could click 2, and then I can confirm, and again, the game will tell you which systems you're scuttling from. So say note you're scuttling the following units from the alpha wormhole, from the barrack system, right? So we'll go confirm, and now you'll see that the war sons are gone from those 2 systems and actually have been produced. So they were destroyed, right? Put into reinforcements and now produced in our home system. And you can see that the war son that had previously had sustained damage is now repaired because we've rebuilt it. Okay, so that's scuttling there. Now the last thing, part of this update is, you'll notice that the active system isn't flashing anymore. We've taken that out. There's a slight red border around it now. And so that's going to be the case there. And hovering over systems, the borders, we don't highlight the system anymore. The borders just turn white. You can see that as I navigate between systems. So the active system doesn't flash anymore. What you can do from the previous update is you can just click on the system to bring you to it. I think the active system flashing animation, people weren't finding it very useful, so we've taken that out. And so yeah, that's it for this update. That's what's new. Right, so keep in mind that scuttling is only implemented for the 2 major production steps, for the tactical action, for the warfare secondary. You won't be able to scuttle for things like abilities like chaos mapping or the Arboric flagship, integrated economy. Yeah, those do not have scuttling implemented yet. Yeah, that's so. Hopefully, that'll give players a little more flexibility with their production schemes. You still can't overproduce to surpass your fleet limit and then discard fleet. The app still won't let you do that. That might come in the near future. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, the scuttling in these 2 steps is nice. Yeah, so I think one of the main reasons we wanted to get this implemented is because we realize it's a big part of strategy, and we're planning on trying to get a tournament going. So implementing these, these circumstances with these rules that a lot of players are used to playing with, at least having them in the major parts of production, I think are good if we want to run a tournament style for Twilight Wars. So definitely continue to keep your ears open for that. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. It's worth mentioning that old games and new games will get all these updates, so don't worry if you've already started games and this update comes live, you'll still get all these new image qualities and be able to scuttle during the relevant steps. So until next time, enjoy the app, and we'll talk to you later.